innings against St. Louis earlier in the year, and the Billikens are on the horizon in their final game of
the 7-team field in the A10 championship. The last time a 7 seed took down a 2 seed on day number 1. You have to go back to 2017 in St. Louis. It was these George Mason Patriots that beat Rhode Island, who at the time were the 2 seed, by the score of 9-5.
The Patriots have never lost to the Dayton Flyers in the Atlantic 10 tournament. The two teams have matched up 3 times in postseason play, and the 25 to DeMartini, the leadoff batter for the Dayton Flyers. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Cassidy's season high for strikeouts is 9 in a game. Did that the final road weekend of the year at Davidson back on May the 11th. The 1-2 from Cassidy. Fouled away. Cassidy on the year, one of 2 7-game winners for the Patriots in their starting rotation.
As a offense in the Atlantic 10.
First pitch swinging, Lujo sails this one to center field. James Quinn Irons under it, and they're quickly 2 away.
Good start for Cassidy, locating different pitches well, and that big breaking ball that just kind of drops off the table that he got DeMartini out. The rest of the Dayton dugout is going to see that and know that you have to attack early on.
At East Carolina, here's the pitch and a line drive single into center field, so a two-out base knock by Zorn.
Zorn did a good job of laying off of that big breaking ball earlier on in the count, which means that Cassidy has to go somewhere else, knowing that Zorn is picking up that pitch, and that one just caught a little bit too much of the zone.
Runner left for the Flyers in the top half of the first. It's Dayton nothing. The Patriots coming to bat here at Capital One Park. Here in the 2025 Atlantic 10 baseball.
Strikeouts are going to be a big part of what Peguero will try to do. Third in
single.
And it is going to be a busy day behind the plate, as we already alluded to, for the Dayton catcher, Ryan McDougall. This George Mason team runs as well as any, not only in the A10, but in all of Division I, and you wouldn't be too surprised if Klein's in sacrifice bunts. They get that done as well as anybody in the nation this year.
Well, the Patriots have been that way all year. They've been unselfish. Up and down the lineup, it doesn't matter whether or not you're James Quinn Irons, Owen Hall, or also the cleanup hitter, Jake Butler. Everybody lays it down. Here the pitch outside to Butler. Breakout year for Butler in his sophomore season. Here's the 2-2, and Butler. Ground ball back up the middle into center field, into score. Klein followed by Hall, and a 2 RBI single by Jake Butler, and the Patriots jump out in front 2-0 here in the first.
That is just a clean approach for the 3rd time already for George Mason, advancing the runner into scoring positions big.
And that'll bring up Andrew Raymond, the freshman catcher for the Patriots. Raymond this season played in 45 games, made 44 starts, hit .286 on the year, left-handed batting catcher. Hit a home run to lead off the 2nd inning in that March 14th game against Peguero. And here swings and fouls it away.
You know, the Patriots would love to get the run production from Raymond a little bit more like what it was like for much of the season. Towards the end of the year, just 1 RBI in his last 9 games. But as you're saying, that Peguero's front leg lifted first. Umpires don't agree.
George Mason, 149 for 187 in stolen base attempts. Six players in double digits in steals. Here's the pitch, and Raymond pops it foul. Stays alive. Raymond had an RBI in the series finale against the Flyers in that meeting. And the freshman in his first A10 tournament at bat plates a run, and the Patriots expand the lead to 3-0.
Well, you wouldn't know he's a freshman by that approach. Another 2 out behind in the count.
Houston takes down low for ball 1. The 8th batter to the plate here in the first inning for the Patriots. Figueroa peering in now, hit 2 balls and 1 strike.
And winner of this game will get the winner of St. Louis Fordham. If Dayton loses this game, they know that they'll be playing an elimination game tomorrow. If George Mason loses, they know they won't have to play until elimination on Thursday.
Here's a hard hit ball. The shortstop, Dyerson. And a strong throw off the diving play by the Dayton shortstop. The 2 versus 7 matchup here in the middle game of day number 1 of the A10 tournament. 4-0 George Mason. McDougal, Stang, and Howell, the 2 batters for Dayton.
If you're Brandon Cassidy right now, you have to pitch smart with the 4-run lead. After it wasn't more because of the fantastic play by Waters at shortstop to end the bottom half of the first inning. Right now, if you're Cassidy, you're thinking about throwing strikes. You're thinking about keeping the ball on the ground and making the Flyers earn their base runners.
Not uncharted territory for the Patriots. The strikeout.
Boy, that's where that safety bag really comes into play. Enough space for McDougal and Wall to both operate in. After Raymond didn't see the ball at all after the initial swing, you can see him kind of look around. He looks to the third base side first. It's actually up the first base side. And then as everyone kind of gets there at the same time, there's enough real estate for the play to be made safely, thankfully.
Here is Martin Howell with 1 on and 1 out for the Dayton Flyers. Cassidy, and Howell goes around, strike 1. Howell on the season, a .269 hitter, 32 of 119 on the year. Did hit 7 home runs. The Flyers spread the home run hitting around. Their leader was DeMartini with 13. 25 RBIs for Howell on the year as he looks at another one right down the middle. Nothing in.
Watch how Quinn Irons gets to the spot so quickly. Oftentimes outfielders will want to just kind of meet the ball on the run and catch it in stride, but Quinn Irons beats the baseball to the spot so that he can make a more routine-looking catch, utilizing that speed that he has on the base paths in the outfield. Again, see, he doesn't try to just get there as the ball gets there. He gets there first so he can adjust and make the play.
First pitch to Waters in there for a strike. One thing that Quinn Irons does so well, he takes the perfect route almost every time, and when he does, here's the 0-2 outside.
But when you look at the Patriots' numbers on the offensive end, especially in conference play, a lot of runners left on base because a lot of the numbers don't add up. You lead the conference in stolen bases, second in batting average, third in on-base percentage, but you're just fifth in runs scored.
Here's the 1-2, and that moving to his right.
Yeah, we talked some in the first game between Davidson and St. Joe's about bounce-back innings and how important it is to not let things snowball as a pitcher. Figueroa has a good chance to come right back here in the second and get a shutdown inning, especially if he could do so against the top part of the order for George Mason. That'll give him a little bit of a boost of confidence and just a sense that he's in this game after the first inning really got away from him.
And here is Owens. We talked about the 39 stolen bases, a new program, single season record. Took over that spot from Lonnie Goldberg. Here's the 3-1 in there for a strike, and the count is full.
These 3-ball counts that Figueroa is getting himself into a bad habit working into means that Patriots going to continue to get pitches over the middle of the plate. Figueroa has to make sure he's working to one side or the other.
Owen Hall from nearby Alexandria, Virginia. Here's the payoff pitch, high shot. The 1-1, and that hits him. James Quinn Irons this season was hit 14 times. Tack on another to that total.
That's just Figueroa trying to make a pitch on the inside part of the plate. Command got away from him a little bit. If you're going to get hit, that's not the worst place to get hit.
Turn the numbers and let it go right between the 1 and the 0. 81 miles per hour for a strike. And on the relay, the tag applied by Jake Butler, and out at third, DeMartini. At the end of 2.5, it's the Patriots 4 and the Flyers nothing. This is Atlantic 10 Baseball on ESPN+.
Championship final between VCU and Richmond. One season ago. 0-1 is bounced back up the middle. Moving over is Klein on 2 hops, and there's 1 away. First, after Wall vacated the space to go after the ground ball, and Cassidy just beat Doby to the spot, and there is 2 away.
Well, Ben, we saw it back in game number 1 here today with Wildcats starting pitcher Wilson Perkins covering first base. And this time Cassidy may have gotten a late start, but he had just enough speed to get there a split second in front of Doby.
Another one of those plays in which the safety base is absolutely critical. Not all that often you get to put 4-1 in your scorebook as a ground out, but that is the ruling, and there are 2. McDougall with a very bright future ahead of him. And a really good final series against the Bonnies, 5 for 10 with an RBI and a couple extra base hits. Takes the 3-1 downstairs, and there continues to be a base runner in every inning now for the Flyers.
First walk of the game issued by Brandon Cassidy. Dayton during the season went 0 for 4 as the DH in the Patriots' 8-0 win in the middle game of the series. Was 2 for 5 as the DH with an RBI and a run scored in the 11-5 win in the nightcap.
They did give Huber 1 extra base hit there, the double back in the first inning. Some aggressive base running for him as this ball is hit into center field so far for Peguero. Did not pitch in the A-10 championship last year, but getting the ball for the opening game of the Flyers campaign this year. Season high in strikeouts was 10. He did so twice, including against A-10 foe Fordham, an ultimate game of the regular season, to get a 9-8 victory against GW for Dayton. All the way back on April the 13th might well be the difference. That game goes the other way. It could be the Revolutionaries who are taking on their cross-DMV rivals as the 0-2 swung on and missed, and it's the 3rd strikeout of Peguero's afternoon.
Probably if you're a pitcher, this is where you want to face Owen Hall and James Quinn Iron with 2 outs and no runners in scoring position. Make your life a lot easier when you don't face them with nobody out and runners aboard.
Here's just the 1 runner. 7 seed has won at least 1 game in the A-10 championship in 2 of the last 3 years. Last year, St. Joe's, as the 7 seed, made that run to the semifinals. Back in 2022, the 7 seed was the Richmond Spiders, knocked off Rhode Island in an elimination game, and George Mason, going all the way to the final. Wrinkles of the transfer portal in 2025 is that not only will players look for other opportunities, but they'll often look to follow coaches who are out the door too. The recruiting process from high school is such an intense one with so much communication and so much talk. A team that was 3rd in the Atlantic 10 in home runs in conference play this year with their 49th as a squad against A-10 opposition, and the bottom part of the order continues to deliver the pop. When you look at Howell, Waters, and now the number 9 hitter Manolfi, they have combined for 19 home runs between the 3 of them. There is power up and down.
Squad, so the Flyers using the long ball to get themselves back into the game, and DeMartini just set back and waited, goes opposite field here. Hall ranging back, thought he had some room. You can see the wide stance by DeMartini, so strong in those legs, and a lot of power at the top of the order.
He already has the Dayton single season hit record. That'll be RBI number 63 to move him in a tie for 3rd in that single season category. It's ESPN Plus.
Who now squares the bunt.
3rd baseman Lujo will start to pinch in. Butler already with a 2 RBI single back in the 1st inning. Doesn't have a 2-hit day since back on April the 26th against Rhode Island when he went 2 for 3. Lujo, the 3rd baseman, will continue to come on in to 10.
Well, 72 pitches for Peguero.
That's before this at-bat, so give him 76 now before this next pitch to Butler.
Moore tosses to first, then pitches to Butler in this at-bat.
No kidding. And the runner is on the move anyway. 2-2 is swung on and missed, but Quinn Irons will be in scoring position. Strike, it's a huge call. Either 2 out and nobody on, or runner at third with less than 2 outs. So then Alberti will have a RBI opportunity even without a hit. Look at it again.
The throw beat Quinn Irons. He had his left arm on the bag before the tag was applied. Now the question's going to be whether or not he kept the tag on his chest when that right arm was reaching back. It looked like there might have been some disengagement between the glove and the body of James Quinn Irons.
Yeah, that last angle along with the vertical break. Not exactly sure what you do there, standing in the righty batter's box, except for take it for a strike. Vaquero doing a much better job ever since that first inning of getting ahead of batters. Tried to climb the ladder on the 0-2, and Huber laid off.
The mound for his 7th inning worth of work. He has thrown 85 pitches so far in the game, 8 flyouts and 5 groundouts for the Patriots starter. Looking to give George Mason a win on the first day of the tournament. A couple of home runs allowed in the 5th. One by Waters, a 2-run shot, and the other a solo blast by DeMartini. Cassidy made his Patriots debut on the road against East Carolina, earned his first Patriots win against Monmouth at home. High pop-up. Left side, Klein. Gives way to Butler. Butler where the shortstop normally would be, and the third baseman makes the catch for out number 2.
Both teams have employed the shift really well today. You can see the benefits of having faced a team already for 3 games and knowing the scouting, not only from the video and from your scouting reports, but also seeing firsthand these hitters a couple of months ago.
Throwing error, he throws it away. And all the way over to second base is Wall. So Wall was robbed by the shortstop back in the first, and here Lugo gives him a gift.
I don't think Lugo knew how much time he had. I think he has time to settle his feet and make a more stationary throw instead of throwing on the run like he does here. But you can see he has to kind of throw back across his body all in one motion. If that throw's on line, it beats Wall by a full step, maybe more. I don't think Lugo exactly knew how. Oh, he said that the number 9 hitter rolls into what looks like a ground ball out. The Flyers let him off the hook, and you can't do that against this top of the Patriots order that you know is coming up next. A perfect bunt by Klein, and then the small ball and the long ball working for the Patriots. The bunt single, and then the extra base hit, and just like that, a 1-run game has turned to a 6-3 lead, and that's the end.
Of Charlotte in 2007. Quinn Irons tried to check the swing. He went around, and the count is even, 2-2.
And with the infield in, again, Quinn Irons thinking about elevating the ball.
Trying to plate that runner from 90 feet away. Here's the 2-2, and good eye by Quinn Irons. And the count is full and takes a strike. Butler has really matured as a player. Had the growing pains last year as a freshman. This year, no sophomore slump. Went right into the starting lineup. The 1-2, choking up on the bat, and rips it into left field. A single for Butler. Here comes Hall. Quinn Irons puts on the brakes, the stop sign at third. An RBI single for Butler, and his 3rd RBI of the game. Lugo was able to get him out. 1-0. The palm delivers, and that time Raymond over top of it. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Tell you what, though, if Dayton does fall in this game, you don't feel terribly confident as another team or terribly comfortable seeing them in an elimination game. This is a team that looks a lot better than just a number 7 seed.
Loasso said yes. All crooked numbers. The 1-1. Outside, and a good job by McDougal.
See, now you just got me thinking of any other Rusties that could crack those power rankings. I feel like there's a Disney Pixar character named Rusty in some kind.
We'll have to check.
Yeah, that is from Cars.
Here's the 2-1 in there for a strike.
I think Rusty's is the company that Lightning McQueen represents originally.
Well, I don't think turf for it to go into, so they've affixed that safety base. It looks like he got the, I thought he got the toe of his cleat on there, but when his cleats hit it, it just moved the bag. Brings up Aiden Zorn, the right fielder.
That can be really scary. Thankfully, it looks like Lujo walked back to the dugout just fine. Looked like he almost got his foot more on the top of the base than on the front of it.
Swing and a miss by Zorn, who was 1 for 3. Georgetown, all the way back on February the 18th, notched his first save as a Patriot when the Patriots were already in conference play against GW.
As a pitcher, when you're going well, you just hate these reviews to kind of break up your rhythm. He's still out there throwing. St. Louis still out there watching and waiting. They'll be in that home dugout as the number 3 seed coming up next.
Patriots would love to save their bullpen, much as the Flyers would like to, but
He's had so much success. He's done a great job of limiting the extra base hit. He's only allowed about 1 extra base hit every 7.5 innings or so.
25 strikeouts to 11 walks, as this one paints the outside corner.
Rarely in a postseason game, Steve, do you see a team doubling up on the other in extra base hits and trailing in a game this late in the contest.
3
Flyers
home
have
runs.
4 extra base hits, 3 doubles and a home run. Mason with 1 double and 1 triple.
1 solo, and a team that won 20 conference games. Here's the pitch. Here's the throw to third, and they got him. A strong throw by McDougal gets the lead runner, Johnny Wall, as Klein moves to second.
But Hull just left Wall out to dry by not getting the bunt down. And Wall is on the move, thinking that Hull is going to drop down the bunt, and that just gives Wall a little bit of extra breathing room to get to third. But as soon as he doesn't get the bunt, no chance.
And not only was, and again, Rondo steps off. Got the shift on for James Quinn Irons, although recently he's been going the other way and beating the shift. Play him to pull. Outfielders playing straight away. Here's the 1-2. There goes the runner, but this ball is low. And a stolen base for Hall, and now the count's 2-2.
Especially with the first baseman Doby hanging on towards first to hold on the runner. That just created a lot more space on the right side now that the runner's...
Did he check the swing? They appeal to first, and he did not go around, so it's 2-2 now on Alberti. 13th time in program history that Dayton has made the A-10 championship in the 3rd year in a row. Flyers have an all-time mark of 15-20 in the A-10 tournament. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the 8th. Here's the pitch, breaking ball, and a called strike 3 on Alberti, who strikes out for the 4th time tonight. And that
great start from Brandon Cassidy. Worked through the difficulty in the 5th inning with the 2 long balls. Great day for Jake Butler, drove in 4 runs. Great day for Owen Hull, drove in 3 runs. The speed was on full display for the Patriots with 6 stolen bases. That's just a really traditional, typical Patriot baseball game, played the way that they want to play. And Dayton is going to have to play an elimination game tomorrow night.
And Jake Butler, one of the heroes of this game for the